Hello all, welcome in the another SAP tutorial of ERP SAP team. Hope you are doing fine. Today we will discuss about the basics of service entry sheet. See, what is the service entry sheet? Service entry sheet is a document which verify you have taken the service from the any vendor. For the service entry sheet, you can execute using transaction code ML81N. ML81N, right? ML81N is a standard transaction code. You can create, change, and display all the three activity you can using this. In the additional data, you can fill the deduction. Okay. In the header deduction, you can fill the amount, and the total amount will be subtracted from your uh, basic amount, right? And in the basic data you can check your account assignment detail, right? In the acceptance data you have document date and posting date and document text detail. In the values column, net value including tax, that is total value. Here precisely the value reflecting is without tax. The basic value of the PO line items will reflecting in the values. In the long text you can mention your details. In the history, created HRMS number, change HRMS number details will be appear here. Who have created this service entry sheet, who have changes or approved the service entry sheet, right? In additional data, number of person, storage location, deduction details, and reference circle details is available here, right? And the service entry sheet we are generally creating with respect to purchase order. Here service number, short text, cost center, order number, network number, and all these details available. In the service entry sheet, while we fetching the details from the service entry sheet from the purchase order, you can only edit the quantity. You cannot change the price detail in the service entry sheet, right? For example, we have issued a 100 rupees service entry, created this 100 rupees service entry sheet. Then you can verify the 100 rupees services which supplied by the vendor, and you can approve the details, right? Here you have option of switch to display the purchase order. In the entry sheet, option, you can create set status, that acceptance, release, cancel release, block, reset block, final entry, cancel final entry. These are the column, right? See, if you want to set the status of the acceptance, acceptance means final acceptance, that is the release, right? Revoke acceptance means if you want to release revoke, you can use you can also use these options. Release and cancel release, if you want to block this service entry sheet, you can use this. Reset block, you can use this. If you have a sufficient authorization, then only you can do this activity. Final entry means this is the final service entry sheet with respect to this purchase order. If you set this final entry sheet activity, then you in future you are not able to create furthermore any service entry sheet. Cancel final entry, in some cases cancel final entry is not possible, but if you have sufficient amount of the authorization, then you can also you are able to cancel final entry sheet checks, right? So most important thing, this is the deduction field. For example, if I have in the PO service line, we have maintained the 100 rupees, and one quantity amount is 100 rupees, but after the issuing the services, we have observed that there is a deduction of 10 rupees or 9 rupees. Then you can fill the amount of the 9 rupees or 10 rupees here. In the main service line the amount is 100, but in the deduction column 100 rupees 10 rupees is there. Once the competent authority will approve the service entry sheet, then this deduction amount will reflect in the AO claim while executing the invoice verification or Miro. And finally, the 90 rupees payment will be paid to the vendor and subsequently, right? So these are the details of a few basic points in the service entry sheet. Okay, in the edit, we have certain options, right? In the goods entry sheet, account assignments, long test, release strategy, variant configuration. In the service, see, in the services field, you can also get the different information in the service entry sheet. Okay, and standard transaction code is ML81, right? And using ML83 you can print the service entry sheet. See, in the environment option, see, you can get the purchase order history in the environment tab, purchase requisition list. So from, if you have service entry sheet number, through environment tab you can get the purchase order history details. You can purchase requisition list from here. Okay, and generally we forget the details in the system. We have user profile, services and all options here. Okay, so ML81, and we create the service entry sheet with respect to purchase order line items, right? Through ML81 and we can change anything except price of the service entry sheet, right? Before approval, before release, through ML81 and we can display the service entry sheet. Okay, after the approval of the service entry sheet, there is a red indicator and green indicator. Before approval, there is a red indicator, means no acceptance. After the approval, there is a green indicator, that is final acceptance. Final acceptance means competent authority has approved the service entry sheet, both R1 and R2. And red indicator means competent authority has yet not approved the service entry sheet. Once the service entry sheet will approve, then a GRIR accounting document will generate. Getting my points? Means your expense GL is debit and GRIR is credit. GRIR is our temporary GL, dummy GL, and once the vendor has issued the bill and Miro execute, GRIR will debit and vendor is credit, right? So this is the our entry. So once the release the any service entry sheet, you should also check the GRIR document, means accounting document, FI document, because if FI document will not generate, then while executing the invoice verification or Miro, the account officer will get the error that there is no such vendor line items for the payment. So it is very important. So through ML84 you can get the list of all service entry sheet which are released or not released against any purchase order. Through ML83 you can get the printout of your service entry sheet. So these are the basics and important details with respect to service entry sheet. Okay, and this is very important. Service entry sheet will give you the exact idea about the service verification record of the vendor supplied any services to company. Okay, so thank you. This is very useful information. Please share with your friends and colleagues. Sharing is very important. Okay, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for latest SAP video tutorial updates. Have a good day. Happy learning.